day here in San Diego. The bats were found.
Oh, yeah.
The bats came alive. Not a single run in the game yesterday for the Padres, and not a lot from the fans either, might I add. But a lot more runs today. It started early. It started often, and the crowd was incredible. What a day here. This was complete 180 from what we saw yesterday.
I gotta say, today felt a lot bigger. Just from the moment the gates opened, the fans felt. We heard a couple of them say that they also had an emotional hangover from the Dodgers series. You could feel that yesterday, last night, and today, everyone just came in ready to go. From the moment the gates opened, from the moment the first pitch started, even when the Phillies went up, no problem. Padres come right back, get a couple of runs, and then just exploded in the fifth inning. This is exactly what they needed. I feel like they could take a deep breath heading into Philly with the series tied 1-1.
Yep, and it all starts with the starting pitching.
Yes.
And to be able to catch up with Blake Snell right after the game was really cool. So let's hear it right now from starting pitcher of today, Blake Snell. First off, how special was this crowd tonight? It was yesterday, it looked like they were waiting for something to happen. Today, so much happened, and it looked incredible. How cool was it?
Yeah, it was super cool. I mean, these fans, they've been wild the whole time. So once we started hitting, you could kind of feel it. And then that, fifth inning, they just took over. So, no, we love being here. We love watching, them just support us, and hopefully we give them a show they want to see.
I know it's almost cliche to say that the second inning was tough, and it's not really anybody else's fault. Son, you can't blame that. A bunch of bloopers. No hit that inning was over 90 miles an hour. Everything was bloopers. How difficult is it to get yourself together and realize, all right, I still got to get these outs? It can't be easy.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, but you just think about it. I made good pitches. I executed. They hit them. They're a good lineup. They're going to have luck, too. So just take it for what it is. It's tough in the moment. You're frustrated, but you can't do anything about it. So you got to find a way to go 5, 6, and help the team out.
It seemed like just from watching you a few times, there were some pitches on the borderline, and you were showing a little more emotion tonight than usual. Those borderline pitches, there was a strike at the bottom of the zone. You're like waiting there for the call. There's a little more emotion in these games, huh?
Yeah, you're just more locked in. You want everything. You can't get it. Sometimes you'll show it, but you try to just stay level the whole time.
When are we playing MLB The Show?
Whenever you want, dog. I'm ready.
Congrats, dude. Really cool catching up with Blake Snell, today's starting pitcher. Also really big on Twitch, by the way. He's a big video game guy, so we're often in each other's Twitch streams, and he pitched his team to a 1-1 tie in the series now.
That was huge. And you said coming into this, they win if Blake Snell has a big game today. He did. He got it done. You talked about emotion. I know you're getting a little emotional here. You guys didn't see it, but while we were in that interview, Ben got sunscreen in his eye. A bug almost flew in his eye. So the reason he's crying, he just loves baseball so much. No, he has a little bit of sunscreen, and his brother's pitching. So
I'm crying. Alex is standing on a box. This is just beautiful.
We're having a good time.
Sunscreen went in my eye. This is the beauty of a live post-game show.
Okay, by the way, I'm on an Apple box. Okay, that's what he meant. So if I'm not on this, my head doesn't make it into the shot. So that's why I'm so tall.
It's not like we're trying to make it look like we're near each other. She legitimately isn't in the shot if she's not standing on a box. So that's why Alex is standing on a box here. Step down for a second so the people can see. There she goes.
Am I in the shot? I don't know. I feel like I'm edging. Every time.
The graphic is covering you. You can't even see you. One thing I was excited to ask Blake Snell about, one thing I thought was important, that second inning where the Phillies score 4 runs, they go up 4-0. But it wasn't because he was pitching poorly.
Nope.
We saw Juan Soto lose a ball in the sun. We need to talk about that for a second today. I played right field for 5 years professionally. It was my job, and it does not matter. You do not win a battle with the sun. It is impossible. Now, there's things you can do. You can put your glove up right next to it. You can shield it. But if the ball at the last second is in the sun, there is nothing you can do about it. There is absolutely nothing.
And you saw him. He kept his glove covering the sun up until the last moment, and then when he moved it to try to catch the ball is when he lost it and missed it. So that's tough. Even with the sunglasses. I mean, it was hot. It was 90 degrees here today. The sun, not a cloud in sight. So everyone was kind of dealing with a little little issue there.
Yeah, so that happened. A bunch of bloopers that inning. There was nothing hit hard that inning, really. They end up with 4 runs, get down 4-0, but they immediately follow that up with back-to-back home runs. Their first run of the series, and then the top came off. It immediately was followed up with another home run by Josh Bell. Brandon Drury, Josh Bell, back-to-back. This crowd, back in it.
Oh, yeah. They were back in it, and then the 5th inning happened. And that was huge. They just opened the floodgates. The Padres loaded the bases twice, got 5 runs across the plate, and that's when you really knew, I think they have this game.
Well, that's how this game was so important. Obviously, we were talking about it in the pregame show, but you have to win a game, especially if you're the visiting team. Your goal is to win 1. If you're the home team, the goal is to win 2. But if you lose that first one, then you're really up against it. But one thing that's important with this series, just because of the nature of how the Phillies are built, they have 1 and 2 great starters. Both of those guys are great. So you almost feel like, I know we want to win 2 at home, but we beat one of their guys. Now we're going to Philly, and we're not going to face one of those guys at least until Game 5, you have to assume. So I know you want to win the first 2, but this was huge for the Padres because they beat one of their 2 studs, and that was really important. And that 5th inning, as you can see behind us on the scoreboard, it reads that big 5 in the bottom of the 5th. That's what broke it open, and that was the ball game.
That was a ball game. There was another cool moment there. We saw some brothers face off, the Nola brothers on the mound, at the plate. He ends up getting an RBI single off of his brother. Huge. You know a little something about facing your brother, right? I think there was another cool matchup. It rhymes with Verlander, last name.
Oh, it rhymes with Verlander. Oh, it's Verlander. Yeah.
Verlander, yeah.
So I always love brother on brother at bats, and I'm always rooting for the hitter. And we have the video of me facing my brother from spring training in Detroit. This is a cool story because my brother's 9 years older. At no point in our careers had we lined up to actually face each other in a game. But you get to spring training, Justin was pitching in a AAA game. I was playing on the field right next to it. I went and got an at-bat, hit a home run. The feeling was incredible, so I cannot imagine the feeling of doing it in the NLCS. We saw his parents in the stands. His mom and dad looked like they didn't know what to do. The dad was wearing a Phillies jersey with a Padres undershirt.
Yep.
And the ball goes into the outfield. A huge run is scored. The stadium's going wild, and he's literally just looking there like, what is happening right now?
I love my sons.
I love my sons.
I love my sons. I want both of them to succeed. That was a really special, cool moment.
Yeah.
I mean, is that something you hold over your brother forever?
Oh, absolutely. And he knows I hold it over him.
Yeah.
I try not to do it a ton, even though I should do it at every Thanksgiving meal we ever have.
Yep.
I don't do it a ton, but it is something that they will be talking about for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
And it is something that video is something that I will have saved in 18 different places so I never lose it for the rest of my life. But that was the big inning. Manny Machado ends up tacking on a home run.
Huge.
Padres win. The bats broke open in this game for both teams. Both teams hit well. Padres did a little better.